Okay, so salute to all the new subscribers. Um, Last week I was at 120. Right now I'm at 700 and something. So in 1 week I gathered 600 subscribers, which I only, on average, have 2,000 subscribers. My channel has been deleted 3 times, but only one time I got up to almost 4,000 subscribers. So if I can get 700 back in 1 week, that's excellent. So salute to everyone that's fallen in. So the U.S. Supreme Court backed Donald Trump with the wall, saying the wall can be built. Don't worry about environmental hazards. Don't worry about it. So that goes to show you this country is behind deportation also, right? They don't need these people anymore. So they're ready to send them back. However, Americans have to understand, once that wall go up and a civil war breaks out here, you have nowhere to go. Straight blood bath. All right, let's get into it.
Teacher, 55, tried to murder his wife of 1 year with a machete because of her affair with their landlady's son. A teacher tried to murder his new wife with a machete after becoming jealous about her arranged sex sessions with another man, a court heard today. David Wing, 55, had only been married for a year when wife Yvonne, 45, started having sex with the son of their landlady. The court heard the relationship with lover Don was at first permitted by her new husband. But Wing became enraged when he logged into his wife's Facebook account and found messages between the married lovers hatching plans to run away together. James Wilson, prosecuting, told the court he bludgeoned his wife around the head with the 68 centimeters blade after covering her in white paint, leaving her with a gashed forehead and fractured skull. Mr. Wilson said the couple had been married for a year before moving from London to Porth in South Wales to work in a school for children with autism. He said, there was a slightly unusual aspect to their relationship, in that 3 to 4 weeks after moving to Porth she had sex with a local man called Don. Her husband had no problem with her having sex with this man, but after time she became emotionally involved with Don. He had a problem with this and began checking her Facebook and realized a relationship was beginning between them. He couldn't accept this and the matter came to a head with him attacking her with a machete. When he swung the machete at her head he intended to kill her. Mrs. Wing told the court her husband's vibe changed when Don, who socialized with the couple and was a regular visitor to their home, left their property after a visit on September 10 last year. She told Cardiff Crown Court, he said not to take him for a fool and that he didn't want to be FD over. I figured he was in a bit of a PD off vibe about Don and that he had seen our messages on Facebook. Mrs. Wing went to bed alone, and the following morning found her husband drinking brandy alone in their living room. She said, David said he didn't want to talk about how Don reignited my life or anything like that. He threw his glass across the room and it smashed. Mrs. Wing started receiving texts from family members, friends, and even her lover's wife when her husband began circulating messages between her and Don, leading to the couple rowing and Mrs. Wing calling her husband impotent. The court heard how Mr. Wing began slashing at the couple's wedding photos with a carving knife, before he used a roller brush to slap paint on his wife's face after covering their walls and furniture. Mrs. Wing said she followed her husband up their stairs only to be confronted with him standing at the top, brandishing a machete. She told the court, I said, are you trying to kill me? He replied, is this what you wanted? If I can't have you then no one else is having you. When he hit me the first time I knew I'd been hit but I didn't actually feel it. He hit the back right side of my head. It slightly stunned me but then I saw him raise his right hand again. He struck me a second time but because I was halfway up the stairs I was holding on to the banister. I think I tried to get down the stairs but that's the last thing I remember. Mrs. Wing said she blacked out before waking up covered in blood in front of her front door. She said she pretended to be dead while her husband called 999, and heard him saying, "I think I've killed my wife. I hit her with a machete." Mrs. Wing said she played dead until her husband began to perform chest compression on her, and was in and out of consciousness until she was brought to hospital with serious head injuries. Mr. Wing, from Porth, has admitted one count of inflicting GBH but denies attempted murder. The trial continued.
So she gets caught sleeping with the landlady's son. Okay, so people may say, what is the landlady? A woman that is renting out an apartment or a building. So wherever she was paying rent to the landlady. Okay, so she ended up getting banged by her landlady's son. Her husband finds out and wants her dead. Now, if you're in La La Land or you're stuck in the Matrix, you will believe that once the ebony woman crosses over, that everything is peaches and creams, right? There are people who try to paint this picture. And as you see that the same thing she's complaining about with Tyrone, she's going through it with Brad. And in many cases, even worse. This story is a prime example. I bet you the landlady's son is black. See, these swirlers like to live on both sides of the field, right? They want to have their cake and eat it too. And this isn't a video where a group of people are being verbally attacked. No, this is just a truth video on how things are really happening, right? In real time. Not that made up stuff. Not that pink pill stuff. Right? So, the fact that this swirler, right? And this is what she would call herself. A swirler. The fact that this swirler thought she made it to the promised land. And now she was fighting for her life. Because of some very, very bad decision making on her part. Laying up with the lady she's paying rent to, right? Laying up with her son. The same thing she's doing in the hood, she's doing in the mountains. It is no different. Or the country, or the farm, the city, the burbs, towns. And this, see, in my adventures of dating interracially, I never ever said everything was perfect. That never came out of my mouth. I always talked about problems, how you have to check men or women of other ethnicities. Like, it's not a cakewalk. It's not what people try to make it seem. However, you would have people who try to paint it as if it is. It looked like, by that picture her and her husband took, it looked like they were in a very nice, peaceful area. I read they were in London, Wales. Very nice area. And that goes to show you brothers, they've been swirling all along. You just can't do it. And they only been together just a year, and she was cheating on him. She said, listen, he didn't have a problem with me cheating on him until I got emotionally in love with him. That's when he cared. So he logged on to her Facebook account and read the messages and seen the pictures. And I mean, like, this isn't the most attractive looking woman, right? And some may argue that is a woman. This is crazy. An axe, a machete. He was trying to take her neck off. And, this is a prime example how it doesn't matter what color you are, people have problems. You thinking you're going to escape like Blackistan, which you created, and go into Wales, London, Wales, and change? No. You way in Wales acting up. Dude provided you a really, really nice life. However, a lot of you swirlers are mentally ill. Like, you guys go both ways, right? Your husband don't mind you engaging like a fool with other people. And we have that right here online. Here online, where you have, Swirl Nation. And a lot of them are, a certain percentage of them are married, and it seems like their husband let them do whatever they want to do. Even if their behavior is questionable, or you'll see swirlers engage other people online and start crying, and you don't see any comfort from her husband or her boyfriend. I've seen videos here on online, and you've seen them too, where you had swirlers get pregnant and their white boyfriend or husband just get up and leave them. Or they get broke and they have to move in, right, with her boyfriend or husband's mother. This is real life. This is serious stuff. This isn't, and you have people that try to paint a perfect picture like everything is good once you cross the other side. And listen, you can't run away from your problems. And I told brothers, this white man, he's he's a big crybaby. He's always crying over some woman. I've said this many, many times. I won't be surprised if she cheated on him with a brother with a European accent. And he dressed like he was in the 1700s. Or, in this day and age, it could have been another woman. And you do have married couples who live the swinger life. They're swingers. There's a huge rumor that Jada and Will are swingers. Like, I don't know. I don't get into their business like that. But yeah. And, based on their behavior, you can kind of believe it. They're always apart, I mean, you do see them together, but he spends a lot of time on his own, right? He was in Australia last time I seen him online. So, he's been moving around. He's another place now. So, let's not act like this doesn't happen. And when you start to get emotionally attached to the partner you're sleeping with, that's when your husband or your wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that's when they get jealous, and this is when they want to start murdering. And right now, she should be very, very scared because white men are shooting up schools. They are on a rampage. These men have went psycho. They have a little man's complex. I've been saying this. They take everything personally. Everything is taken personally. I did a story about Cox. I forgot his first name. He stole the Marine's wife from him, and then the Marine is suing his wife. No, suing Cox. Boo-hooing, crying. That's how these white boys are. And you see these people have mental issues. A lot of these interracial couples, they're with each other for dysfunctional reasons. This is why a lot of them aren't working. Right? And see, I keep it a buck. I never painted this beautiful picture like, okay, well, when you date interracially, everything is so perfect and fine. No, I said, listen, man, I mean, knock yourself out. But for you to sit up and say that everything is perfect, no. There's problems. This is a prime example. And people are getting, a lot of people are getting in trouble on Facebook. Side note, you just had another black man get gunned down on Facebook Live. So people are logging into, you understand, right now, your security is at risk. Everything is very sensitive. Right, so he probably guessed her password, probably said her password is probably her birthday or the last 4 digits of her social or something like that. He probably been messing around with the password for a month. Got it right. Or she might have left it open. Sometimes, that one time you slip up with even in your phone. Sometimes if you check your Facebook in your phone, you won't have to sign in because you left it open. Like just one little mistake. She probably went to the store, didn't think he was going to come back. He came back, checked her internet, checked her Facebook, turned her laptop on or computer on, and the Facebook page was already open. He was like, let's see, bam. Got what he wanted, probably downloaded some stuff or printed some stuff out, maybe like a message, happy faces, pokes, right? Got that. Log out. He don't need nothing now. He got his proof. She came back. He confronted her. She denied it. He showed her proof that she's lying. He becomes enraged. You lied to me. That's the way he is at heart. He's a punk. He wants to kill you for breaking his heart. He grabs a machete. And a machete, they're very, very, those are like the sharpest blades. Not even a knife, a blade. I mean, he went medieval on her. He went medieval on her. He went to the days of the Roman Empire. And now he probably get off. I don't know how they do it out there in London, but he could probably cry some hardship. In those all white countries, they got those laws that help that crybaby white dude out. He banged my wife. I need a check. I'm going crazy. At least he didn't shoot up the place. He took it out on the person he meant to take it out on. He didn't go and shoot up a school. And he confronted the right person. He didn't confront the guy. There was no need. See, I give credit to where credit is due. He confronted her. He didn't. A lot of these soft beta males would have confronted that guy. He said, nah. I'm not going to confront him. I'm going to confront her. And that's what he did. He didn't take it out on him. He went directly to the source. And I'm sure they're Christians. They go to church every Sunday. They pay their tithes. They help out around the church, probably on holidays. Those pagan holidays. They cook. They don't have any kids. They only been married for a year. One thing I know about this white man when it comes to him dating the black woman, he rarely gives her any children. Yeah, you have black girls with white fathers, right? Biracials, you would say, biracials, right? But the majority of the biracials are headed by a black father. The European man doesn't. I guess he's cautious where he plants his seed, because he doesn't have too many mixed breeds around here, and when he does go mixed breed, he goes to Asian. I wanted to know, do Tina Turner have any kids? Any children? Like these, I noticed a lot of these European men that do date ebony women, they don't get them pregnant. And you have people that would argue, well, a lot of interracial couples are with each other because of sex. A fetish. You have people that will argue that. Say, hey, that's not all the time. And since I want to know if he's been taking care of her. If he's been taking care of her, then she, wherever she's from, she has to go back. Obviously, she was provided a really decent life. It does look like that. I mean, Wells, what I should have done before I did this video was check the medium income in Wells. I'm pretty sure it's high. It's a very expensive place to live. But even if it isn't, they probably live off a lot of natural resources there. A lot of things are organic, cheap. I'm pretty sure they eat a lot of bread down there. And like green stuff, It seems like for him to attack her with a machete, seems like they're very, very old school. That's a very traditional place. They do things a certain way. I won't be surprised if they all ate together. It makes you think of one of those places that, back in the ancient days, and where you see horse and cattle and people on the side of the road. Crime very, very low. And this stuff is happening globally. You have to be compatible with that person. A lot of people aren't compatible. They're getting together for the wrong reasons. Right? And only you can change you. You can't run from your problems, right? No matter who you are. You have to change who you are for the better. The same thing you're complaining about in your culture, you're experiencing it crossing the other side also. And I've said this in my adventures of interracial dating. I mean, this is normal. There's nobody better than the other one. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I guess it's like putting someone on a pedestal more likely, right? So you're saying these people are better because of their skin color, and that's a twisted way of doing things. On this platform, I always talk about how these men behave, right? Other men behave, whether they're Hispanic, white, Asian, men behave when their women cheat on them with a black guy. That's putting the black man on the pedestal. He wants to shoot up the place. Last year, you had that white girl that left her boyfriend for a black guy, and he threatened her life, threatened to kill her. He went on a racist tirade. I did a video on that. The fact that you date interracially and you think everything is peaches and cream, right? And you have women sell that stuff. They package it. That's why I said there's a market for everything. You have women online here that package that stuff and sell it, and it is selling. Hey, get you this type of person, and this is beautiful. This is perfect. And it's not the case. People, I was told that you can sue almost any company on false advertisement. They never say, they never do exactly what they advertise, right? And this is one of them. Like you see a car commercial and they say, oh, we're going to give you, we'll finance anybody. You know what I'm saying? We'll finance anybody, no matter your credit. Just, you have to work at your job for 6 months. You just need to be at your job for 3 to 6 months. We can finance you for a car. You say, oh man, cool, yeah. You get down there and it's not what you seen on the commercial. You're like, okay, I can't wait down here for this, right? Same thing here. Looking at TV. Seeing someone being placed in a positive light all the time. Or hearing women online that look like you, place them on a pedestal. And then you say, man, I'm going to get me one. Forget it. My life is going to be beautiful. But then not only that, you take your problems with you. You take your issues. You take your dysfunction. You take your bad habits. You take your despicable ways with you. What changed? False advertisement. And then when stories like this come out, you're in a position to have to defend it. And you can't defend this. And how this white man will burn this mother down. If he can't get his way. If he can't get his way, everyone has to suffer, right? But in this case, he took it out on the person he intended to take it out on. I'm pretty sure when the landlady's son came over, because, maybe they had a leak in their pipes in their home, or they needed some handyman work around the house. So she would call her landlady and she said, well, I'm going to send my son over. I'm going to send my son over to check on your pipes. So he get over there and the rest is in the history books. I mean, it's all kind of ways this could have happened, right? And no telling who else she cheated on him with. I'm out. Peace.